Hello, welcome to AI Playbook, and in today's edition, we're going to be talking about how you can use AI to plan your daily activities. Now, working with your calendar sometimes may be very cumbersome, especially when you have to schedule meetings and sometimes you have some recurrent events that you want to wish you could undo automatically, which means whenever you set a specific event or a specific calendar, how do you automatically adjust the things that you have without having to touch those things manually? Today, that's what we're going to be looking at. And for us to do that, we're going to be relying on an AI called Reclaim AI. Reclaim AI pretty much just help you to manage your calendar. So let's see how you can use AI to manage those cumbersome calendar. When you go to Reclaim AI, what you need to do is to sign up. The downside about Reclaim AI right now is they currently support Google Calendar. But as you can see, they are currently working on the Outlook calendar, which means if you learn how it works right now, even when the Outlook version comes out, to be easy for you to navigate and create something that makes sense. So for us to proceed with this, I'll just proceed to connect my Google Calendar. And once I connect my Google Calendar, we can proceed in creating all the integration. So all I need to do right now is to sign up. And for me to do that, I can either wait for the Outlook version or just proceed with the Google Calendar. Since I have an email, which is on Google, I can proceed to choose the Google option. So when I pick the Google option, I will just select one of my emails. Selecting one of my emails, I can authorize. Then once I authorize, all I need to do is to follow the prompts for the sign-up process. Reclaim is going to ask you certain questions for the first time, and all you need to do is to answer some of those questions. So in following up with the customization, you can just take a look at what we have here. Take back your time and blah, blah, blah. So we can just continue. So connect your calendar. I'll go ahead and connect my calendar. Select with the account that I used to log in. Then one thing you must note here is you need to give Reclaim access to your calendar so that they can help you do all the maneuver. I'll go ahead here and proceed. Okay, so at this point, Reclaim wants to understand your personality and how it can help you customize the AI. So all I need to do is to continue. And now I can say what brings you to Reclaim, team and company use. Select that. What best describe your role? I can say, let me just pick manager. What's your department? And can say product. Yeah, so what brings you to Reclaim? You can see all of this recommendation. It can recommend habits. It can recommend scheduling link, buffer. So you can pick all of these things, but for my sake, I will just unselect this so that we can create all of those things manually so you see the way it works. So the next, we need to create team. So you can choose to bring in your team member or you can just proceed to finish. So I'll just proceed to finish the process. So you give Reclaim some time to set up your account, and after that you can go ahead to play around the things that Reclaim has to offer. Now that my setup is done, all I need to check here is what are the things I can do right here. So you can look at the customization that they have. So we'll go through some of those tools and see how we can use them. The first thing I want us to do is to have an habit, or before that, let's even take a look at our calendar. So from my Google Calendar, you can already see what my week looked like. And all of these initiatives are things that we can try to understand how we can leverage artificial intelligence to move things around. All right, let us dive into create our first habit. And the first habit is that we want to understand the time or create a time for lunch every day. For us to do that, we can just go ahead and create our first habit. By creating our first habit, I'll just go ahead to give it a name. I'll say lunch break. So when I have my lunch break, the next thing is to set the priority. Now, in setting the priority, you could just look at the bar. The bar should give you a signal as to the order of the priority. So it means that if I set a priority to be high priority, anything medium cannot override the high priority. If I have low priority, it can override medium. But if I have high priority event or program, it can override medium. And that's pretty much how it works. So we can just set this to high priority, and we can either make it personal. If we choose to add note or location, we can do that as well. We can also customize the hours. So we can, one flexibility that we have here is that it gives us duration. We could infuse preference and duration. What time do we want it to happen? Around what time? So we could put range. And for us to put the range, we can, of course, say if it's going to be happening on every day. Of course, we're going to go on a lunch break every day. Then we can say the ideal time. The ideal time can be, let's say, 12 noon. All right, duration can be from the minimum of 30 minutes and maximum, let's say maximum of 1 hour. Yeah, maximum of 1 hour. Okay, now that we're good with that, we can also come here for more options. Right, so if you look at what you have here, you can also set the level of reminder. You can remove it from calendar. If habit can't be scheduled, you can leave it on the calendar. I think I would just leave it. Then also, you also want to see if you want to make it public, so that others who are collaborating with you can see. You can just play around some of these settings, and you can auto decline. So let's see what this means really. Auto decline invites to meetings at same time as habit. So do you want to decline meetings based on this time? I think I'll just leave it. Or sometimes you just want to log it out. So perhaps you don't want people to have any conversation with you within this time, which of course makes sense. So you can leave a meeting note. This is the default that will be sent to the person, but I think we can leave it as such. If you wish to CC anybody or add keyword to avoid duplicate events, you can do all of that. So we just save this habit. And when we save the habit, all we need to do is to go ahead and check if our habit has been incorporated. So let's take a look at what we have. I think on the planner. So you can see that even though we have our schedules, what Reclaim is trying to do here is to try to fuse the lunch break into available time. Because apparently, if you look at what you have on the screen right now, the time I wish to have my lunch break are not there. So how do you ensure that the AI is able to help you to look for possible time that you can have your lunch break, possible time that you can have it. And the most closest that we have here on Tuesday is 1 to 2 p.m. just because of your timeline. And if you look at on Monday, of course, the AI couldn't get any other time. We have told the AI to not, delete or remove the lunch break, even though the time may not be possible. Yeah, so another one you have here is for 3 to 4 p.m. And for us to really make sense, let's see other weeks. You can see that other weeks helps you with the time that you expect. All right. And that makes a lot of sense because, there are no schedules here. So which means every other schedules that you would have will have to come within every other time. But in the event where you have a lot of things in your calendar, what the AI just try to do is to look for possible time for you. And that's pretty much cool when you try to schedule some of these things, especially when you're busy and you don't really have time to do that manually. So another cool thing you can do with Reclaim AI is to also help you to set your task. So you could actually automatically set your task and allow the AI to fit it into the time that work. For example, let's say that you want to create a pitch deck at a particular time. All you need to do is to navigate to task. When you get to task, you can then create new task. By creating new task, you could give it a name. We could say create new deck for the LMS pitch. Okay, so the question is, how long will this take? Oftentimes, you shouldn't create a task for any activities that is less than 2 hours. So I would just increase this to be 2 hours, 30 minutes, or we could just leave it for 2 hours. Now, do we want to split it? Okay, yeah, we can split. So I want to say the minimum split could be 30-minute duration and the maximum 2 hours, which is what we said here. Now, when do I want to get this job done? Is it working hour or personal hour? Of course, this is going to fall within working hour. So I can just go ahead and schedule the date. So when do I want to start? Say I want to start on Friday, for instance. You could choose to start on Friday, or you could choose your due date. So let's say we want to choose Friday as our due date, then maybe Friday 6 p.m. as our due date. And if I go ahead and create it, all right, so we have that already. Then if I go to my planner, I should be able to see our task. So on the 28th, do we have any task? Okay, I think, yeah, create speech deck, create speed deck. Something is wrong, so let's come back here and try to edit. So in editing, let's see what we didn't set right here. So we said, okay, let's say the start date or the starts, when do we even want to start? So let's see what this means. Reclaim will delay the start, all right, based on this very date. So what you need to do, let's assume we want to do it that same day. We want to do it that same day. And let's save and see. So instead of having it in other days, because what Reclaim did for us was to split the timing in between the days. So let me see what we have. So you can see that what Reclaim has done for the task is it tried to split it into multiple occurrences. So expect you to do from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., do part of the job. And also, of course, you go for a lunch break. Then he expects you to also do another 1 hour from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Now, let's talk about the cool path. Let's say, for instance, you have an event that is going to take the whole day, and you don't want to manually start moving your calendar. You don't want to start moving the activities. This is also where you can rely on the AI to help you with that. So let's say on the 28th, we have event that is going to take the whole day. And let's go to, let's say we want, in fact, let's try to do this on, you can see that in real time, all of our activities are showing here on our Google Calendar as well. So let's say, for example, we choose to create out of office event. Maybe we want to go on leave or something. We just know that we are not going to be available for the entire day. So all I need to do is just select all day here and just click save. Now, when I click all day, because that very day I don't have time for any other thing, and all you will see is that Reclaim will try to set the event. So let me see, do we have something that we can set here? Okay, that's cool. So the thing we can do here is, so let me just toggle this out, is that we could look at some of these things that we have to do and try to move them further. So because I know that there's no way I can carry out all of these activities, all I can do is to move them further. Okay, so when I need to reschedule, all I just need to do is to come to this and say, I want to snooze for 1 week. And when I snooze for 1 week, what Reclaim has done is that it will then try to look for other available dates to ensure that we can have that. So let me just navigate to 1 week and let's see what we have here. So you can see Reclaim already use available time for us here. And the timing here is different because it has from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. So it just gave us the timing to proceed and get the job done within that time. So imagine you creating tasks and having, schedules in between. This AI gives you the flexibility to span things around, move things around to ensure that you key them into the time that really work for you. So rather than you, trying to navigate the calendar and looking for the timing that is available, you have the AI to help you navigate through the process and you are able to get the job done without really moving so many things. There are so many things you can do with Reclaim AI, and all you need to do is to try out all of the possibilities. Now, while I showed you some things you can do with it, you can go ahead and try to toggle so many things. You can toggle the calendar sync, and the calendar sync gives you the possibility to invite even other collaborators. So the cool thing about this is you could bring in your colleague's calendar into the play. So not anymore that you have to just think about your calendar alone. So you could also collaboratively work with your team to ensure that you guys sync the calendar. You have an idea of what they are doing, and they also have an idea of what you're doing in order to ensure that you're not giving them something to do at the wrong time. And this really even work well at the managerial level. For some reason, you need to sync calendar, see what your employees are doing, and ensuring that their calendar is properly synced and you have an idea of what their schedules are, what their tasks are. This can also be a very huge tool that you can use to create efficiency in your organization. Now, I don't know what you're going to do with the AI tool, but one thing that is certain is that this tool will get better and better. So the cool thing is you could choose to start using it right now and get used to it so that when the whole thing becomes the standard of how we work, you're already there and it becomes more seamless. And you can be at the edge of whatever conversation that comes out of this. Pretty much you can like this video, drop your comments, ask me questions. If you have anything that you need clarity on Reclaim AI, I am readily available to help you through the process. And that's how we wrap it up on this one. If you like this video, again, subscribe and leave a comment. You can also ask me questions directly. You can leave a feedback on this very edition. Just make sure you check the link attached to this very video. And if you also want to get a weekly newsletter from me, you can also check the link in the description notes in order for us to connect and keep this AI conversation going. Thank you so much. Until next week, I'll see you in the next one.